And I am taking the easy way out on this, and I'm using a store-bought crust. So it is ready over here. Now everything else that we need is here except for my last ingredient. Let me go get it. Silken tofu is going to be the star of this show. We're gonna see how it goes. So with the filling, we're literally just going to take all of the ingredients, put them into a food processor or a nice blender, pour it into the crust, and bake it. Before we get started on all of this, I'm going to go ahead and preheat the oven to 350 degrees, and we're going to be putting a dish of water on the bottom shelf of the oven. I'm just going to use this little casserole dish I have, and I have it filled up about halfway with water. And the whole purpose behind this is just to make a better atmosphere for the pie to cook and set in, because it's going to be kind of like custardy. But I'm not going to put the water in until I put the pie in, I think. Anyways, so I'm just gonna go down the list and start putting stuff in here. We need we're gonna be using 1.5 cans of pumpkin puree. You don't wanna get pumpkin pie mix, you just wanna get pumpkin. This is 100% pure pumpkin. So we're gonna use 1.5 of these cans that are 15 ounces. I know that some people make pumpkin pie with like fresh pumpkin. I've actually never tried that. And I almost feel like it wouldn't be as good, but have you guys ever tried cooking with fresh pumpkin instead of canned pumpkin? I'd love to know the differences, like if it tastes different, if the texture is different. I mean, it's absolutely probably healthier for you, but I'm really curious about the rest of it. Please let me know down below if you ever use fresh pumpkin. All right, I feel like that's about half of this can. So this is 1.5 cans of pumpkin in here. We are supposed to use 8 ounces of silken tofu. This is 16 ounces, so I'm gonna open this up and cut it in half. I'm not super familiar with silken tofu, but I'm going to go ahead and open it over the sink because I feel like there might be a lot of excess liquid, kind of like with the other tofu that I use. So, okay, so not too much liquid came out. I feel like I used silken tofu years and years ago to make a vegan ranch dressing. And at the time I was just trying to be healthy. It's not that I was trying to be vegan. I followed this one food blogger that she just made a lot of really healthy recipes in general. Oh man, this stuff is weird. I think I'm gonna need a spoon. But I think that's the only other time I've ever used silken tofu is in that recipe, and it was such a long time ago, probably like 9 years ago. I don't even remember it, but I think I just used the whole container and threw it in a blender, so I might not have even had as much experience with the texture as I'm having right now. This is very, very, very strange. But this is supposed to be like the substitute for eggs in this recipe, so I can see how this like custardy texture is really gonna help this pie. So that's done. So we are going to add 1/2 cup of regular sugar, white sugar. I'm going to use coconut sugar. It's just what I have left right now in the pantry. Look at it, can you see? Brown sugar is next. We need 1/4 cup. To use 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. About a teaspoon of cinnamon. And I'm gonna measure some of this stuff and I'm not gonna measure some of it. But I'm going to take into account the amount that it's called for. So yeah, cinnamon, about a half of a teaspoon of ginger, a fourth of a teaspoon of cloves. Now, I just have whole cloves. I don't know what's gonna happen if I throw whole cloves in here. I'm gonna put 2 in here and see what happens. A little bit of allspice, like 1/8 of a teaspoon. About a teaspoon of vanilla, and I've been using this vanilla puree lately, or vanilla bean paste. The last thing we're going to do is just put a little bit of salt in here. Now it's time to blend this all up. So all you do is put the filling into the pie crust. This looks so good, dreamy. This thing's ready to go in the oven. So I'm going to put the water in the bottom rack of the oven, and then I'm going to put this on top, and I'm going to set the timer for about 45 minutes. But you don't want it to be really wobbly, but it's not going to be solid. Now what you want to do after you get it out of the oven is to let it cool at room temperature until it's completely cool. Then you want to put it in the fridge for at least 4 hours, but it's even better if you leave it overnight. And then your pumpkin pie is ready, and you can serve it with some coconut whipped cream, and this smells so good. It looks great. It was really easy to do, right? So this is our vegan dessert for Thanksgiving, our vegan pumpkin pie.